unlocking unseen possibilities for unlimited growth. You're here today with Nader Sabry. We're talking about agile over fragile. What does that mean? All right, so let's get started with just a quick summary as we do about what these videos are about. This is all about decision making. We've got the yes and no. Decision making is binary. What happens in the middle that throws us off is these gray areas that create distortion, disruption, and sometimes even destruction if we're not decisive in the way we make decisions to get into a yes or a no. Today we're talking about agile over fragile. What is agile over fragile? In order for an organization or an individual to build their muscle to get much stronger, you got to be quicker and more responsive. Whether you're an organization, a small startup, a big corporate, or even a government, your ability to be agile, to be responsive to changes that are circumstances and conditions that alter with time, you're going to have you're going to fall into what I call fragility or being fragile, right? And you become fragile because you become outdated. You're unable to be responsive. You're not relevant. You're not able to respond quick enough. You're not able to deal with change in context. And we see this happening all the time. Some of the biggest examples of our time are people like Nokia, people like Kodak, people like Blockbuster. These are companies that were agile in their time but became fragile because they were not able to sustainably and scale their ability to be agile. And so we'll focus into the example of Blockbuster, where Netflix completely blew them out of the water. What's the interesting part about this example, which teaches us from history, was that Netflix did what I call an intermediate disruption. An intermediate disruption is you see the full-scale disruption over here, but rather than jumping into it because the context of the time doesn't allow it, you take what's called an intermediate disruption. An intermediate disruption is basically a stepping stone into the large disruption. Now, how that works, and because of this consistent and sustainable agility rather than becoming fragile, what Netflix did is they started a mail order business where you can basically order for much lower cost a whole bunch of DVDs that come straight to your home. And the interesting part about their agility is that they were able to completely flip and disrupt their own business model before it came from external circumstances, okay? And that's why I absolutely love this example. In the process, Blockbuster became fragile. They became fragile because they were no longer agile. They believed that the business model they had built with I don't know how many thousands of chains they had was going to continuously work. The truth is people were going to continue consuming entertainment products and consuming more of it. But the question was how they were going to do it. And so Netflix was successful in being agile in an intermediate disruption to a full disruption, what took them to the full business model we see today. What's interesting though is Netflix today is being disrupted by Twitch, which is now going to the next level and actually allowing users to make their own user-based content that they can successfully publish directly, okay, so to disrupt the Netflix model. Netflix has fantastic disruption across the board, and we can do a whole video about that, but I wanted to use this as an example to demonstrate to you agile over fragile.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell, like the video, share your comments. See you in the next video.